Hey guys, Jacob with Jacob Comics. Alright, guys, we have a really great episode. Today we're going to be reviewing Carnage number 4, and look at this cover. That is an amazing cover there, right? So creepy. It is kind of a bit of a horror title, but there's a superhero, I promise, guys, it's fun. Alright, guys, now before we get dived into that, I do want to let you guys know about the new giveaway. If you haven't seen yet, we are giving a new book away. When we hit 400, it's the 400 subscriber giveaway. And when we hit 400 subscribers, we're going to be giving this book away. It's Symbiote Spider-Man, Symbiose, and Symbiotes. It says a whole brain on there, and you got Venom. He's like eating Spider-Man cereal. It's crazy. Alright, guys, and yeah, all you have to do is like, comment, and be subscribed to the channel, and that'll give you a chance to win the Symbiote Spider-Man store exclusive. Alright, guys, now let's go ahead and get started here with Carnage number 4. Now, before we get completely dived into the issue, we always have a couple things to go over before we do, right? Now, first off, I do want to let you guys know we're going to be going heavy into spoilers. So, if you don't want to be spoiled for Carnage number 4, that's your warning. Next up, we always got to shout out the creative team, because without the creative team, we wouldn't have a comic book. So, as writing duties, we have Ram V. The artist is Francesco Mana. The color artist is Dijo Lima. And the letters are done by VC's Joe Sabino. There is a foreword, and we'll go ahead and start right there. And that says, years ago, the Venom symbiote spawned, and its offspring bonded to serial killer Cletus Cassidy, imbued with incredible strength, speed, endurance, and powers similar to those of Amazing Spider-Man. Cassidy and his extraterrestrial other share a unique bond, and have long terrorized the Marvel Universe as Carnage. Carnage is loose, rejected by its former host, the dangerous serial killer Cletus Cassidy. The Carnage symbiote is on its own for the first time in its life. The impression Cletus left on the creature is indelible, and the symbiote has inherited his unquenchable thirst for violence. It has also found a disciple in the serial killer Kenneth Neely. Detective Jonathan Shayde is hell-bent on stopping them. But after Carnage infected him, Shayde's been hearing Cassidy's voice in his head. Now Neely is along for the ride as the symbiote has begun targeting superpowered individuals. Hydro Man and the Spot were Carnage's first two victims, and who will be next? As we see Jonathan Shayde's thinking, he's remember if in the last issue Carnage teleported to go kill more gods, and Jonathan Shayde kind of like grabbed onto their coattails and was sucked into time and space with them. And he's thinking, I've got that familiar feeling again. What do they call it? Deja vu? Like I've been here before. Almost there, but not quite. Hanging on by a thread. I'm at the top. Crawling up. So close. But ending up so far as the Cletus's friend kicks him off of holding onto his coat, and he kind of falls into nothingness and says, story of my damn life, tumbling through space, falling through a myriad of dimensions. I feel the fabric of reality changing around me. My failure, the only constant across endless realities. At least this is it. I think to myself, at least it's over now. But then I realize the symbiote goop running through my veins is keeping me alive, holding up blood vessels, pulling on tissue, constraining cellular mass, keeping my flesh from exploding out of its skin. I can't even die anymore. As Cletus says, "You done feeling sorry for yourself, Jonathan?" He replies, "Oh hell, not you again, Cletus. Can't I even fall through eternity in peace?" Cletus says, "Well, as long as we're waiting for some damn hand of providence to yank us out of the void, I was thinking we should begin figuring out how to get ahead of all of this. After all, I think I know where Carnage and your pal Neely are going next. As we have this really cool splash panel I wanted to show of Carnage and Neely basically like landing after they took this space portal in a place of elves, and Carnage says, "We're in one of the 10 realms, a place of black forests and living shadows and all the dark things that dwell within." Kenneth Neely says, "I thought you were going to take me across the state border or something. What the hell are we doing here?" And Carnage says, "Why, Kenneth, I already told you. We started with Hydro Man, then we took Spot. Now we're here to kill gods." And he says, "Where better to begin the land of the wild hunt? Come now, my pup. It's time to go mess up some elves." As we kind of get some backstory here on these 6 elves who are like the elves of Killereth, and they all get together, and what matters most is that Carnage is hunting the 6 of these guys, and they're kind of super powered elves, right? And so Carnage he's going after him, and he kind of solos out one as they get a little split up, and takes him out. And Carnage says, "Tisk, tisk, tisk. I think you dropped something, elf." And the elf says, "You will not take me without a fight, demon." As Carnage says, "As you wish." And then there were 5. And Neely says, This makes no sense. You said we were here to kill gods. And here we are, hunting down some elf who's barely a challenge?" And Carnage says, "So impatient, Kenneth. Grand plans require time. The right implements, patience." Kenneth says, "Sure, but what part of that are we looking for?" And Carnage says, "The hound, Kenneth. We're here for the wolf pup. You want to know more? You'll have to earn it." What do you want to do?" says Kenneth. And Carnage says, "Somewhere out there is an elf with one hand and a crooked back. Think you can handle him for me? Should barely be a challenge, right?" As we go back to Jonathan Shayde in Falling, it says, "Somewhere between forever and eternity." It says, "And once again, Carnage has finished stealing all these abilities, all these powers. Any amount of resistance that heroes put up will barely present a challenge, and unless you stop him, of course." And Shayde says, Why me?" And Cletus says, "Haha, it's not you, Jonathan, it's us, don't you see? I know Carnage. I know how the symbiote thinks, because it thinks like me. But the real Cletus Cassidy, he wouldn't whiz on the world. If it was burning, no, he'd pour gas on there and make himself s'mores. But my knowledge tethered to your damn bleeding heart, now there's a hero for this story if there ever was one. So that is why it must be us who will stop Carnage. That is why you must prepare yourself, and that is why powers greater than you or me will eventually reach into this void and pluck you from it. Like it or not, John Shayde, you're now an agent of destinies far greater than you ever imagined." As Jonathan Shayde falls into this wormhole, and he's like, "I hate you." And Cletus is like, "I know, John. That's what makes this all the much better." And he does actually get teleported by someone with much stronger powers. Of course, who it is? It is Spiderling. So we got Spiderling shows up, and she says, "Welcome, Jonathan Shayde, to my parlor. I've always wanted to say that. I'm Spiderling, but you can call me the Pattern Maker." I know. You were expecting some mini-eyed spider creature with a cool mask and a spidey body, and you're just a cop from New York who wandered a little too far off the edge. But we don't have a lot of time, so you'll need to get over it." And Cletus says in Shayde's head, "She sure does talk a lot, doesn't she? All the spider types do." And Spiderling says, I've sensed that fates of the whole world rest in your hands, John Shayde. Shayde says, What? I'm barely just keeping it together, just wrapping my head around whatever's happening here. What do I have to do with the fates of the whole world? And Spiderling says, You hold in your hand the small end of a very long thread, and while I'm still new to all of this, I'm beginning to understand how these threads all weave into each other. Ever since the web of life and destiny was blown up, my spider sense goes haywire in this chamber. I'm trying to put it all back together, weave it all again. As they go into her chamber, wanted to show this one as well. So we got Detective John Shayde and Spiderling entering Spiderling's chamber. And there's kind of like all these Carnage tendrils all over, if you will. And she goes, This is what I end up with. And Carnage says, Oh, that can't be good at all, John. And John says to him, Oh, shut up, Cletus. As Spiderling says, I don't understand all of it yet, but I know that my spider sense tells me that a small part of destiny has fallen in the hands of a good man. I'm yours, John, and I'd be a fool to forget it. Who knows what kind of monsters hold the rest? As we go back to the creepy serial killer that's hanging out with Carnage, and he's trying to hunt this elf. And he's like, damn it, where'd you go? But the elf comes up from behind and puts a knife to his neck. It's like, I've been watching me, strange creature, and I've seen you consorting with the demons that hunt us. I've cast a spell that will let us understand each other, but I am no wizard, and I imagine it will only last a little while, so choose your next words wisely. And it's to be continued in Carnage number 5. And yeah, I mean, what are my thoughts? Oh man, guys. I said this from the beginning. There's gonna be a good guy, and it's probably that detective, and I was on point. I called it, I knew it, and it's awesome, and I love it, and this whole run is amazing, and if you guys are missing it, you're missing out, because this run's awesome right now. There's a whole new hero guy, his name's Detective Jonathan Shayde. He's super cool, like, he's a good guy, Carnage. Like, he even said, in this issue, like, the Cletus, like I said, they kind of have this, like, Venom sort of a relationship where they're stuck together and they don't like each other, you know? And so he even said he was, like, mad about it. He was like, you know, what I would have done was burn the whole world down and cook some s'mores with it. But now that I'm stuck in here with you and I feel all your gushy feelings, now I'm a hero. Let's go save the world. Let's go. Basically, like, oh, I'm loving this one. Guys. It's my favorite read of the month. Definitely a great one right now. I can't wait for Carnage to get his comeuppance. John Shayde is coming for you, and he's gonna get you. All right, that's what I got. Carnage number 4 gets a thumbs up. Ram V's writing is on point. It's really been it's been a blast. The art by Mana, he continues. I did want to throw this out here because I hadn't heard this name before, and I really love this front cover here. So I wanted to point this out. The cover artist is Kendrick Kumka Lim. And I think we're going to see some more from this guy as well. Because look at that cover. That is just awesome. Super creepy and dark, but I love that. That's awesome. It's so detailed. His Carnage is so detailed. It might even be hard to catch on camera, but when sometimes when you get a comic in person, it pops even more than it does in a picture or on a phone. Man, it's awesome. Awesome, guys. Yeah, so that's what I have today. Remember, guys, like, comment, and subscribe for your chance to win the Symbiote Spider-Man. When we hit 400 subscribers, we'll be raffling the book off, and somebody's going to win. And yeah, if you're wondering why the set looks all crazy, yeah, guys, check me out on IG at Jacob_comic. If you didn't watch yesterday's episode, go watch yesterday's real fast and you'll see why. But I'm running a lot of IG live sales this weekend, and I might continue to kind of do it every once in a while going into the future. So yeah, follow me on IG, and if you guys do want to help support the channel and check out my eBay store, and I'll send you some comic books. All right, guys, and the link for that's below. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow, and have a great day.